Wait, what is this? Chapter 19, Section 89. Are you ready for it? Long live Rep Swifty?
Yeah, well, nothing compares to Taylor Swift, but we're going to do the best we can.
To say that Rep Smitty Pignatelli is a Taylor Swift fan would be an understatement.
To 8 months of failing to meet our revenue targets in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The fact that the time that we were just drafting this amendment, March revenues went through the roof. So I think just the talk of Taylor Swift has turned the economy around a little bit.
The House budget is set to be debated on Wednesday and has 1,500 amendments attached. Amendment number 1 is the Taylor A. Swift effect, introduced by Rep. Pignatelli.
Everything she touches turns to gold, in this case platinum.
It's a tradition he started during the pandemic, introducing bills which are a bit silly, just to say to everyone, you need to calm down before getting down to the nitty-gritty of the budget, which can be somewhat treacherous.
So just trying to keep it light, keep it in perspective, and say, hey, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We'll get through this thing, but let's keep it in perspective and try to do good things for our district.
Although this amendment will likely be rejected, Rep. Pignatelli believes that this tradition is innocent, and during the day-to-day of discussing often delicate subject matter, he wants to keep it light. But this will be the last budget he will be adding his style to, as he's not running for re-election after 11 terms.
Well, I hope someone, one of my colleagues or some of the new colleagues come in will, keep it in perspective again and just try to keep it light.
Now, Rep. Pignatelli did say, sorry, not sorry, he got some help writing this bill. He does not consider himself a certified Swiftie, but I have to say, if you even understand half of the Taylor Swift references in this bill, I think you get Swiftie status. Reporting from the State House in Boston, Taylor's version. I'm Amanda Keane, Spectrum News.
You love to read? I love to hear that.
Little feet and little hands tried their hardest to stay still as state senators read to children in Head Start classrooms in Malden on Thursday. They were there to introduce a bill they say will make child care programs like this largely more accessible for families, realistic for providers, and sustainable for teachers. The bill, called the Early Ed Act, aims to raise the threshold for families to apply for child care subsidies. Right now, for example, a family of 4 with an income under $73,000 a year is a qualification for child care services. This bill would raise that to $124,000 a year, so more families qualify. Senate President Karen Spilka says this is something that the state needs to be more competitive and to keep families here.
I'm very hopeful. I think that the legislators, the administration realize that this is really critical for Massachusetts as a whole entire state, for the reasons that I said and others here have said. I think that it's doable, and I believe that we need to get this done.
It doesn't stop there, though. The Senate's bill goes as far as increasing pay for child care workers to be similar to that of public school teachers to try and help retain the talent. It also helps daycare centers open more classrooms without passing on the cost to families. But it's not just families that will benefit from this bill, says Senator Rebecca Rausch.
Everybody will benefit statewide. And even if you're not a family with a child in the 0 to 12 age bracket, you're still going to benefit because childcare is infrastructure. And we have seen that time and time and time and time again. We see it over and over. Businesses can't thrive and proceed or even function really without functioning quality, affordable, attainable early education and after-school care.
The Senate passed a bill like this back in 2022, but it didn't make it past the House. This current bill is similar to that, but Senate leaders say this one is better. The line item in the budget for early child care is $1.5 billion, although the exact cost of this program is unclear. I'm Amanda Keane, Spectrum News. Kim Haynes watches as her dream home looks more like a nightmare. It's being raised off of its crumbling foundation. Crews have to do this to tear out the foundation and put in a new one to make their home safe. Tests found the mineral pyrrhotite, which breaks down concrete in the Haynes' foundation. It's an issue being discovered across Connecticut and Massachusetts.
They could just stick their finger right in the foundation. I mean, it's powder.
Kim and her husband Jeffrey had to move out with their teenage daughter. They're renting in Worcester and commuting to school. The Hayneses know they want to pass on the generational wealth that a home provides to their daughter, but right now, it's more of a burden than a blessing.
It's not a problem you want to pass down.
This project will cost them more than $250,000. Homeowners insurance doesn't cover it, and they can't borrow against the house because the bank will say it's essentially worthless with a crumbling foundation.
If you're thinking of buying a home in this area, don't. If your seller is not willing to provide a test on that concrete for that foundation, walk away immediately, because this problem is so widespread.
The Haynes family have a story like many others. They had a standard home inspection before they bought this house, but nothing came up.
And today, our home, it looks like a patient on life support, and that's hard to do. It's hard to look at this home where we've put in so much of ourselves and see it look like this. It's not fun.
As more homes in central and western Mass are testing positive for pyrrhotite, more homeowners are borrowing against their retirements or forced to consider bankruptcy. The Haynes and many others are advocating for the state to create a reimbursement fund, similar to what Connecticut has done to help protect them. From Rutland, I'm Amanda Keane, Spectrum News. Don't adjust your screens. It's not old video of a summer weekend, but a bright October day at the State House, where Massachusetts fishermen showed off the catch of the day.
These are Duxbury oysters.
Everyone from legislators to staffers to one lucky reporter got to chow down.
Well, I think today is a good show of force to show that the fishing industry in Boston and in Massachusetts is thriving.
But it was more than just show. It was tell, too.
Be shy.
Educating those who stop by for an oyster what the fishing industry needs.
The aging of the industry, a lot of the industry is aging out, and it'd be nice to have some younger people be part of the fisheries. And I don't think that a lot of young people know that the fisheries is a great job option. The college and working in an office isn't for everyone, and working on the ocean it's hard to give that up.
That could mean fishing, processing, even delivering to restaurants across the state. They want to celebrate all aspects of the seafood industry.
I wouldn't dare step into this building selling imported seafood.
While keeping their products local.
It's all about keeping local seafood in the state. You know, why ship it elsewhere to be processed, especially overseas, just to bring it back? It just doesn't make any sense. So it's very important.
They say keeping all the fishing and processing jobs here in the state ensures more jobs and fresher seafood.
Come on, dig in.
Don't mind if I do.
From the State House in Boston, I'm Amanda Keane.
Some of the absolute best things happen organically. Now, this wasn't planned, but it just so happened that both Army and Navy were going to be arriving in Foxborough right around the same time, and both branches decided, you know what, why don't we run this last leg together? And they did, arriving here at Foxborough Common as one.
The Naval 13th Company midshipmen in black, the Army Marathon team in yellow, as they arrived on foot, each branch carrying a game ball to Gillette Stadium, arriving in Foxborough Friday afternoon, where fans, veterans, and some very proud parents waited for them.
Tough girl, sir. That's our little girl.
Army running over 200 miles from West Point, and Navy running over 450 from the Naval Academy, drawing their inspiration in their drive to keep going from the crowds that gathered along the way.
All right, I'll admit it, they ran farther than we did. We ran faster, it's all right.
For these parents, watching their children make the decision to attend a military academy and pledge their service to the country was not easy.
It was a tough decision for the whole family, but we are definitely very supportive.
Okay, ready, looking at me, 1, 2, 3.
But seeing their kids participate in such an unbelievable feat gives them pause and so much pride.
I don't have words for it. It's just so much pride.
It's beautiful. It's a special moment in time. We know it. These kids are all going out to protect our country really soon. And so we're trying to follow her wherever we can, while we can, and just wish the best for them all.
Once the teams arrived, lots of photos and moments of gratitude for their service.
Go Navy! Go Navy!
And of course, a few cheers.
Go Army!
Everyone that was here in Foxborough on Friday afternoon has a team they plan on cheering for on Saturday. But at the end of the day, it was such an amazing experience for everyone. They said, we fight on the football field, but overall, we are one. From Foxborough, I'm Amanda Keane, Spectrum News.